Give it to me like.
This is my journey as a single mom on the outskirts.
Miss Trainer! Melissa. So
Beta trains.
Miss Trainer.
Michelle Trainer, I'm so sorry, Mr. Call.
She's a good person. She's got a lot of heart and a lot of caffeine.
I just walked into chaos in the form of a woman.
Welcome to Divorce Diaries Show podcast. I'm Michelle Trainer, the creator, the host of Divorce Diaries. And today I am putting it out there. Stop making excuses and just get it done. That's right, Michelle. Get it fucking done. I am so happy that I have some great news to share. I have officially been booked on New Year's Eve. That was something I was talking about in my podcast. I was hoping to get booked. Now, it's not a Divorce Diary show, but I will be featuring for Kevin Farley in Daytona Beach on New Year's Eve. Very excited. If you want tickets to the show, please DM or email me, divorcediaryshow@gmail.com, because it is a private event that I believe is sold out. But I just found out. I'm very excited. I'm also very excited because I have some opportunities that are coming up this week, that have come up this week. I got a bunch of auditions. I thought my commercial shoot went really great last week. And then since then, I've booked a couple of auditions, and I booked a callback for the Brooklyn Nets in arena host, live in arena host. So that means I would come out during the games and get games to get there's you do stuff where you pump up the crowd. You have red carpet events, red carpet that you interview people. You have to do a bunch of stuff that promotes not only the Nets, but their additional partnerships. So this is right up my alley. I have a callback. It's tomorrow at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. I'm very nervous. I'm very excited. I really want to book it. It's the type of gig where I'm like, is it too far of a reach for me to book this because I'm a little bit older? I'm going to be very real. Everybody, I feel like I just feel very insecure right now. We're like, why would they hire you? And I'm like, well, why would they not hire me? So I've been doing that back and forth, right? And I've been telling myself, I'm just this white girl from Jersey. Why would they hire me? They probably want somebody of diversity or somebody who's a little bit younger. And you know what? I am diverse and I'm younger. I'm white, but I'm not, obviously, I'm Italian, American. That's it. That's all you get. But I have a diversity with the people that have been in my life, friends, family, colleagues. I love everybody. I have worked from differently abled children to differently abled adults to handling situations that pump and motivate people up. And I also know how to promote and market in a short amount of time, especially when I'm on air or in person. So I think I'm the greatest person out there for them. And I was getting on myself though, and making, excuses why they wouldn't pick me. I was also just now thinking about the excuses I was making to my brother of why I can't come Christmas Eve, because I had to pick my daughter up at her dad's. I want to go to church, and he has everybody at the ass crack of dawn at his house. I don't know why. So I'm telling myself, stop making excuses. Just give the reason, do it, and you're going to be amazing. So I'm all over the place a little bit right now, but I want to book this audition, book this gig. The only thing I keep telling myself is just go fucking have fun, because no matter what, just be yourself, and there'll be more that come, even if you don't get it. And as far as Christmas goes, it's already, like I've said, the holidays are hard. So this last week, I went on about a guy in my life that has been in my life for the last 5 months, that I knew for 3 years, that I thought we were friends, not best friends, but I guess we were acquaintances, but we've known each other for 3 years, had a friendship. And obviously it's over now, especially if he's listened to my last episode. Although at this point I have to keep saying, I don't give a fuck. I mean, I do. I don't think he gives a fuck about me. So that's why I'm kind of saying I don't give a fuck. His excuses for why he couldn't date me or why he couldn't communicate properly to me were bullshit. And I started to look at my own self and the excuses that I make for things like, case in point, Christmas Eve, I just want to chill out. My daughter is at her dad's Christmas Eve, and I have to go pick her up in the late afternoon. And my brother has Christmas Eve dinner at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Don't ask me why. I don't want to go to my brother's and pick up my daughter, drive home. And the distance to my ex-husband's house and here is an hour each way. That's a lot. And I wanted to go to church for the first time in fucking a couple of years, as I curse while I say church in the same sentence. I know family is important, so I don't want to push them away, but I honestly really need a break for a day. but I don't want to say that and be mean and rude. So I don't know. I'm hoping that my brother understands. Anyway, I was just trying to figure out if my excuses were bullshit, were kind of like what I'm calling out my ex-friend, who former lover. I felt like all of his reasons why he can't date me or why he chooses not to respond to me in an appropriate amount of time are bullshit. I mean, it's different, you know. I'm just flat out exhausted, and I just need a break for a few hours. Christmas Eve, give me Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. The party is popping all day long. Now, do you ever get overwhelmed by everything around you when your plate gets filled and it's filled with stuff that you really want? Do you ever get overwhelmed? I do. Like right now, I have this audition tomorrow. I have grades for the college I teach at. I have to get in as soon as possible. I have an article I have to write for my work I do as a comedian and with What's Up New York by Friday. I have to finish the web series episode 2, which is still not finished because I've gotten all these auditions and been filming for What's Up New York and booking gigs. And it's like, I for some reason, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's no more time left in the day. And marketing for Divorce Diaries. That's another thing. It's like fallen to the wayside this week because I haven't had a second. And then you have your child, of course, which is first priority. After I listed all the other priorities, I say my child, but she is my first priority. Getting her to school, getting her, make sure her outfit's ready, her clothes, the Santa's secret gift, whatever Santa's secret Santa gift. And it's a lot. So my brain is a little, and then sometimes when I get overwhelmed, my OCD gets even worse. So then I'll start picking apart things that have nothing to do with what I should be focusing on. Does anybody else do that? When you're overwhelmed and your plate is full, and even though it might be filled with things that you really want to be doing, you feel overwhelmed, and then you just stare at the screen and time has drifted on and you haven't done anything. Does anybody else get like that? Then you pick apart things that you shouldn't be picking apart that have nothing to do with the thing you should be focusing on all the time. That's me. So I need someone to redirect me. That's why I say I need a paraprofessional in my life. A paraprofessional helps children, guide them in school throughout their day. That's what I need in my life. I joke that the men that I date need that to stay on track and loving me, even though they never really love me. Just even liking me would be great. So I want to talk about last week's episode because it did get a lot. It got the most views out of all of my podcast episodes on my YouTube channel. Not sure what it did on Spotify. I have to check, but I want to read some of the comments and respond to those comments. Has that guy? Oh, hold on a second, guys. You hear Lewis? Okay, so. Since the episode aired, I have not heard from, and actually, I don't know if that's because of the episode. I don't know if he's even listens to my podcast. I've not heard from that guy that I was talking about. And honestly, I don't know if I'll ever hear from him again. I'm hurt. It speaks volumes that I told him that I was hurt from his actions in the last 5 months, and he has done nothing since that conversation. Speaks volumes for how he really does feel about me. Now, if he looked at that podcast episode and said, well, she's fucking ripping me a new asshole, yeah, maybe he doesn't want to, but I don't think he looked at it right after we had the conversation. And I think right after the conversation, he heard my hurt in the phone. I had to get off for go to work. He could have texted me even a few hours later and said, hey, look, I'm sorry you feel hurt. That's the last thing I wanted. I care about you. Let's talk in a few weeks. No, he did none of that. If I hurt him at that moment in time, I would have done it. I would have responded. I would have said, hey, I'm very sorry. But, you know, he feels differently. Obviously, we're probably never going to talk again. So here's some of the episodes from last week's episode of what did I title last week's podcast episode? Men who use every excuse to not date you, comedy, and enjoying the wins. Okay. So someone said, very funny, caused me to spit out my tea. Thank you, Geoff. Eddie Edwards said, I never leave comments, but God, broken is all that comes to mind. This is why I'm single. Thank you for reminding me why. Good luck out there. Hope you get things figured out. Broken. I don't know if he's talking about me or the guy that I was talking about, but sure. Okay. We're all broken. And then another guy said, you're absolutely stunning. I think you are so attractive. I hope one day you find someone that is able to tell you that every day. I'm single, by the way. Ha, ha, ha. Okay, Woozy Gaming Channel. I'm not sure if that is somebody. I didn't respond to this. Some of these people that are watching it, I don't know what's going on, but thank you. I appreciate it. But I'm happy being single at this point. The Chris Show said, guys want things to be easy. You seem to make every situation difficult. Thank you, The Chris Show. That I really appreciate that. You feel I make things difficult. That was the goal. I'm going to make things as difficult as possible for all men that interact with me. Okay, there's a couple. I'm just going to read the negative. Well, there was another guy that said, had to tell you, but we call you high maintenance. Okay, high maintenance, this is not it. Listen, I'm sharing how I feel on here, so I know people don't really like that sometimes, but I don't think I'm high maintenance. Text me, call me, remember my name. Not high maintenance expectations. Thing that bothered me about this guy was that he kept forgetting I have a kid that I'm with full time. Now, he knows about my daughter, but he would continue to ask me out, or not ask me out, go for coffee, he would ask me what I was doing or if I had my daughter on weeknights when he knows the last few years he knew me, I have my daughter all the time. It's one thing if you just started dating me and said, hey, do you have your daughter tonight? Because you're getting to know me. And if you knew me for 3 years like he did, you would know, you would know by now after our conversations and our friendship that I have my daughter full time. My ex-husband we are 50-50 legal, but I'm the primary resident parent. So he only sees her every other weekend. And my friend, who the last 5 months we've been on and off for, gray area, he kept saying, like, do you have Grace tonight? And I'm like, it's Thursday. I have her every night. Why are you even asking? And then he would ask what I was doing. Do you want to grab coffee? And it's a Sunday afternoon. It's a Sunday morning. I'm like, do you not get that I have? So, I think that it's not, I was happy that he would ask, but what was insulting was that he wouldn't ask when was a good day for me. I think that was starting to get on me too, my nerves. I don't think it was intentional, but it was also just reminding me that he's very dismissive of my feelings and time. Not dismissive. He's very much focused on his schedule and not anybody else's. Because clearly we made no plans. And then he would say, well, I didn't know you were free this weekend. When I said, why have you not asked me on a weekend? And I'm like, I was hoping you would. And he was like, well, I didn't know you were free this weekend. And I had just told him 3 days prior I was free this weekend. Last weekend I was not free. I was working, but I didn't have my daughter. So I was going to think in my head he was going to ask me out, or that we could make plans, because that was the only time I had free. And we had talked about seeing each other more before he left for a traveling work trip, which he travels for work so much. It's frightening that he even lasted in any marriage. He lasted in one of his marriages for 10 years. And I honestly don't know how. I mean, he had trust issues with that marriage. And I'm like, shocker, you're always away and you don't respond. And he's like, well, I responded to her all the time. That's why I don't respond to you. Oh, thanks so much, buddy. What a fucking weirdo. Yeah, it makes me feel like you kept asking me to go for coffee on days I couldn't because it was my daughter, but then you wouldn't say, let's plan a day, because he doesn't care. He gave 2 shits. I want to take it the slow route and get to know each other. But motherfucker, you know me for 3 years. You've known me for 3 years. I've taken 5 months of slow bullshit with you, where I've allowed you to come and cross my boundary like a dumbass that I am, and now I'm hurt. I'm like a fucking, and I know right now that it's majority my fault for allowing this man in. But I said to him, and this is what I want to clarify from the last podcast episode. I told him back in August, when he was hurt by something that I posted on social media on my Instagram story and talking about our sex life on one of my Instagram lives, but which I was talking about positively. I was like, oh my God, it's great sex, whatever, fine. What bothered me was that he felt, I apologized and all this other stuff. But what the thing is, I acknowledged it. There's no acknowledgement of like, you're crossing my boundary. I don't want to sleep with you unless we're dating. And then it happened because I was talking about it and I was like, well, I would love to date you, but, and of course I stupidly did that, but it just acknowledged like, you're right, Michelle. I'm sorry. I am hurting you, even though we established this boundary. You're right. I'm fucking sorry. But I'm a little stubborn and don't want to see. I feel like I keep accepting the bullshit from men after men after men. And I keep allowing it to come into my life. Look, I'm hurt. I had a higher expectation of this guy because we did know each other for 3 years and he knew a lot about my stories with men and was always very kind and considerate to give his opinion and kind of in uplifting me. Him being on the other end of it now, he sees maybe, well, she's got like anxiety issues and other issues that she doesn't trust men. 100%. And this is why I don't trust men. Lack of communication when you're texting. Look, if you like somebody, you want to text them every day. If you like somebody, you're not going to wait 5 hours to get back to them. Period. I mean, there's no excuse anymore. I'm sick of guys saying, well, I was busy, well, I was working, well, had my thumb up my ass and it felt good and I got distracted and then was watching a fantasy football team that was my best friends, and then I also got a wing lodged in my throat because they're really, really good at Chili's. I'm done with this shit, okay? I'm not high maintenance. I'm actually pretty low maintenance. So I guess I'm never going to talk to him again. So there's that. There is another crush I have on a guy that I definitely don't think he listens to this, but I mean, I did a Zoom with him this week and I was like, jaw drop to the ground, gorgeous man. I usually like Latin men. He's not Latin. He's white. And I think he's half Italian. I mean, gorgeous and such a nice person to talk with. So I want to manifest more of him because we actually did a work Zoom. Not that I don't work with him, but we're in the same, we're not in the same field, but we're adjacent. Okay. And he is gorge and sweet. I was like, damn, I wish like that guy would come. More of that guy would come into my life and I could go out with that kind of guy. I don't know. We never met in person, but like I would with 500% go on a date with this kind of guy. Super sweet, super good looking. And I'm not big on the looks. I have to have chemistry with you. But let me tell you something. When you have chemistry and you have the looks, I mean, I'm already undressing. What's your sign? No, I don't want to undress. You know why? Because if I sleep with somebody, I want more. And it's hard to let that go. I listened to the podcast episode last week and I listened to it a bunch of times. I really laid in about that guy, the other guy that I was telling you guys about. So I don't know if he listened to it. If he listened to it, he probably won't ever talk to me again. I don't know if I really care anymore, because if a real true man that is going to be in my life that cares about me is going to listen to that and say, man, I really fucking hurt you, huh? I'm sorry. You're beautiful. You're smart. But that kind of shit hurts too, what you're saying about me. And you know what? He won't. So we'll see what happens on Christmas. Christmas comes next week. And I'm very excited about this audition tomorrow. I'm very nervous. I've been very OCD since I got the call about the audition, and I've been like covering, everyone's coughing, and I'm like turmericing my aura and OJing my body. You know what I mean? That didn't sound right. OJing my body? What the fuck? I do not want to have a Nicole Simpson happen. Oh my God. I mean, OJing with orange juicing my body. You have to be careful with that comment. I am going to be performing, guys, January 21st in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So Divorce Diaries will be January 21st, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Go get your tickets now. Promo code DIVORCE for $10 off your tickets. Also, January 10th, Laughing Stop Comedy Club in Grantville, Pennsylvania. Ticket link coming. April 13th, Lincoln Lodge in Chicago. Same thing with the promo code DIVORCE, get $10 off. Although I'm going to tell you right now, they have them listed as 15. They're supposed to be 25. So if you go now before I'm going to have them change it, you're going to get $5 fucking tickets. That's a fucking steal. So go to the link in my website in the bio now. May 11th is the Auburn, Maine. Now, I had made a mistake on my calendar. February 3rd was the original date. Realized my daughter has a competition that day, so I had to move it to May 11th, which is Mother's Day weekend, which is going to be even best. We're going to be in Maine for Mother's Day, boo. It's a Saturday night show. I'm going to be there. I'm so excited about that. And then there's going to be more show dates already going to be booked in Funny Stop Comedy Club in September of 2024. So more to come. And of course, you can keep watching the web series and Divorce Diaries show YouTube. I'm also going to have it embedded into the website, so you can catch the episode if you go to my website as well. And also, What's Up New York? I am the host of that amazing show. So go to check out What's Up New York on ny2c.com. That will also be on my website under my bio, but I'm trying to figure out how to move that to the front page. There we go. I dropped my phone. And don't forget, I'm going to let you know what happens at the audition tomorrow. I'm very nervous, very excited, but you know what? Just let it be and have fun. Keep being yourself. Don't make excuses. Do what your heart is telling you to do. Hopefully I'm doing that. All right. Love you guys. Stay tuned for more and keep following Divorce Diaries at divorcediarieshow.com, all platforms. Divorce Diaries, Michelle Trina. Keep living your happily ever divorced life. I'm Michelle Trina, and this is Divorce Diaries.